Let's start with the prompt. Which choice most effectively uses data from the graph to illustrate the claim? So let's go ahead and start reading so we can find out what the claim is. High levels of uncertainty about which economic policies a country will adopt can make planning difficult for businesses, but measures of such certainty have not tended to be very detailed. Recently, this economist analyzed trends in news reports to derive measures not only for general economic policy uncertainty, but also for uncertainty related to specific areas of economic policy, like tax or trade policy. One revelation of her work is that a general measure may not fully reflect uncertainty about specific areas of policy, as in the case of the United Kingdom, where general economic policy uncertainty blank. So looking back through it, we're seeing that the revelation of her work is that a general measure may not fully reflect uncertainty about specific areas. And we're being told to use UK as an example of that, where the general measure is not really in line with specific areas. So this is all UK here. And the general measure is this bar right here, the darkest one. And we're seeing that that darkest one doesn't match the individual ones. So, for instance, in 2005, the general one is way below trade policy. And in 2010, for instance, it's actually below, it's below, let's see, it's below tax and public spending policy. So in one moment, the general is sort of below one of the other individual items, and in the other moment, it's below the other individual item. So in other words, the relative relationship between the general policy and the other two is constantly changing. So let's start reading the answers. Aligned closely with uncertainty about tax and public spending policy in 2005. So the UK general is aligned closely with uncertainty in 2005. Well, right there, we know that that's wrong because we don't see it aligned with uncertainty in 2005. B, substantially lower than uncertainty each year. It's not always lower than tax and public spending because of this example right here. Actually, there it is lower, but here it's higher than tax and public spending. So going to answer choice C now. General reached its highest level between 2005 and 2010. It reached its highest level between 2005 and 2010. In the same year, that uncertainty about trade policy and tax and public spending reached their lowest levels. So did it reach its highest in 2005? That's already wrong. General did not reach its highest level in 2005. And D, general was substantially lower than uncertainty about trade in 2005. That makes sense because trade in 2005 is the highest, and it was higher than uncertainty about trade policy in 2010. Well, yeah, look at trade policy here in 2010. So it was lower than trade in 2005 and higher than trade in 2010. And so answer choice D says it perfect, that general was lower than trade in 2005 and general was higher than trade in 2010.